Guys.
What?
Seriously? Should come see this. Oh, man. Okay.
Should we?
Yeah, seriously.
All right. What?
Stop! Oh, man. Right?
What?
Look how fast I was fucking typing, man. I remember in 9th grade, I took a typing class. This is real talk. It was the most boring class ever. It's just H, J, K, L, H, J, K, L, H, J, K, L over and over again. When are you going to use this stuff? But then, damn. Look at that.
It's just H, J's, and K's.
But look how fucking fast I was going, dude. That class paid off. When we get to writing this script, it is going to be flying like ferocious fucking kung fu fingers, baby.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
One by one, you'll feel the old you dissolve away, leaving an uncompromising winner in its wake.
Daddy loves you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our couch on MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work instead of doing our own. As always, we are your hosts, Mateo, Jason, and my brother Matthew, and today we are discussing a 2019 feature, a horror comedy unique mashup titled Benny Loves You, a film that came out around the same time as our bad CGI sharks.
What?
Sharks? And we actually have a little bit of cross-sectioning because I remember seeing this here and there. And Benny himself tweeted that he was excited to see bad CGI sharks at, I believe it was the Horror on Sea Festival. So Matthew, I'm going to put you on blast right now because you never do this, but this is The Toy Man. And I feel like this movie, might have a personal interest to you. So for the first time ever...
Stop making it a big deal.
But it makes you more uncomfortable and it's fun to watch.
Guess I can't argue with that.
All right. Now we get to sit here and do nothing while he talks about the synopsis. Matthew?
You're incapable of not intercepting him.
That's true. Matthew? What is Benny Loves
I
You?
heard you the first time. Benny Loves You is a killer stuffed animal film about a guy who's trying to
Sentient murder toy.
grow up and starts to pack away his stuffed animal who then comes to life and is jealous of stuff in his life. Benny Loves You is a story about a jealous stuffed animal who comes to life after he's packed away from a man-child who's trying to outgrow or grow up from his childish interests. He works in a toy company, trying to make the latest toy, but gets knocked down for a promotion, and finally once he's at his lowest point, he packs up all his toys and belongings, and Benny starts taking revenge for him. He meets a girl who starts helping him flesh out his toy ideas, and the two come up with a Scare Bear type toy based off of Benny, but Benny still continues to kill and seek to be the only one in his life until it's forced to come to blows with each other and he'll have to kill him or let him completely destroy his life.
That was almost too good.
I don't know about that.
That was sarcasm.
Thank you.
And Matthew will never do the synopsis again.
Thank you.
For the next.
Breaking up dishes, washing them. Don't get asked to do it again.
So, this was a rare triple blind. Usually Mateo is introducing us to the movies, and last week on the promotion episode, if you keep up, we actually introduced it to him. This is coming back to our first episode of Area 51 where it's a triple blind, so I'd like to start off by eagerly saying, did you guys like it?
Yes, very much.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew?
Yeah.
A lot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mateo, we're going to start with you. Tell us about your feelings.
Well, when I was a little boy, About the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was.
Not about that time in the back room in Catholic school. We don't talk about that.
You knew that? Oh.
We all knew.
I know. I read blogs too. Anyways, I genuinely enjoy the movie for one main reason. Well, no, there are multiple reasons, but there is one main reason that made me really like it incredibly. And it's that despite everything, there is no explanation. You don't get pandered or whatever.
Turns out there was a voodoo chant that brought him. He even says we
Yeah.
should contact like a voodoo priestess, but it's just
Yes,
a goofy suggestion by
it's
the
a
guy.
throwaway. In fact, I was thinking of one of the best sentient dolls movie ever made, the Child's Play, the original one, not the remake. The original one has the guy who evokes the spirits or transfer his spirit into the doll. So this one, the doll kills. And I was reminded, which is a very bizarre jump, but I was reminded as I was watching it of a movie that has probably nothing to do with this, which was Walt Disney's The Love Bug. It's a movie that I adore. That is, to me, the perfect movie of sentient things. It doesn't tell you why. It's there. You accept it. There is no, oh, this guy. In fact, when they redid The Love Bug for television with Bruce Campbell,
Now don't tell me you don't remember me.
they had to force into a reason why Herbie is a car with a heart, because the inventor was making a paint and the portrait of his wife fell into the vat of paint and his wife was filled with love and the love. I don't need that. Nobody needs that. You get to something like this, that the toy all of a sudden is alive and he goes, fine, I'm with it.
I'm not gonna hurt you, okay?
Cuddle me. Benny loves you.
Okay.
Play with Benny. Oh wow.
All right.
More.
Okay.
Oh wow.
All right, enough.
More.
No way.
Just like the brave little toaster. They don't tell us how he came to life. We just follow his magical adventure.
Yes, or how brave was he actually?
You know, I haven't seen that movie, but I spent the past 30 seconds with that joke lingering in my head. Now, what I would like to say, piggybacking on your lack of an explanation, is I give it a lot of credit for, I totally thought that in the beginning we'd get his couple catchphrases, and then once the plot kicked in, he'd be like, and now I can talk to you. Guess what? We've got to get rid of that bit. And I was, as soon as they only did his catchphrase, I was like, you know what? I applaud that fact.
For the moment, you can stay here. Under the conditions, no one else dies, stay completely out of sight. No one can know you're here. Just until I figure out what to do.
Okey-dokey.
It's great because...
I believe Benny was there.
Yes, and I like the fact that Benny is, despite being a cruel bastard and a sadistic one, he's still childish. He gets scared by himself when he looks at himself in the mirror.
That was perfect.
And it was great. And one thing that I also like very, very much is the fact that they didn't go overboard with CGI. It's just it moves like when you're moving a puppet through your room when you're
That was my
playing.
next question. You think his movements are CGI?
I think that there is a part of CGI.
It was,
and
it was
I think
basic,
that-
like it says, basic enough that I could see string erasure.
I think that
Erasure.
I think that there is a puppetry involved because it's much cheaper to erase a wire than to actually create a whole 3D.
Seemed like mostly green screen though, right? Probably.
Or probably green screen. But I like the fact that they actually kept the movement as when you are playing with a toy, you're moving him like that, and so it mimics that kind of.
Yeah.
Did you feel sad?
Yeah, I was really pissed if he was gonna kill Benny, and I also thought they could have just come to terms and just let him keep killing.
Rather than have to kill Benny. It would just
Yeah,
be
or
too
I'd hope that
Yes.
Benny would have seen the girl kill the doll and be like, oh, okay, she's okay.
I'm not a little girl anymore, you cheap piece of shit.
But I'm glad he's in the back seat at least when they're driving off.
Yes.
As my usual topic du jour, I was very, 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 very fascinated by the tone here.
Oh dear. Cheap.
This motherfucker killed the dog, but also, and I know Matthew will be like, well, it's not real, and yes, duh, but for people who are hypersensitive to dog deaths, Matthew got the classic Muttley wheeze cackle out of a lot of the dog death scenes, and they really, really, really go with the dog death, and I was with it. It didn't like completely turn me off. I wasn't like.
And it's what John Cleese said about a fish called Wanda. The casting of the dog is critical, because if you get a dog that you're sympathizing with him, you're just like empathizing, you're just like, oh, a little puppy, it hurts you when you see that. That dog is perfect for a scene like that, because
we didn't really get to know her.
you don't get to know her, you get it very objectified by its owner.
Right. Give her these vitamin tablets at 9. She only drinks mineral water. And don't feed her after 10, even if she begs.
She won't get a thing.
Good boy. Keep this up. I'm looking at a new creative director. Bad, bad. Say bye-bye to Precious.
The fact that is either very dark brown or black in terms of fur,
Yes,
is I don't say an anti-pug, but it's not the usual pug. A Man in Black.
Now that's the worst disguise ever. That guy's definitely an alien.
You don't like it? You can kiss my furry little butt.
on that same note of how far I went with the dog, in our first scene, we get a little girl getting bitch slapped so hard spit comes out of her mouth, and I was immediately impressed by the ballsiness. Why I say that?
She's a little cunt, and she's like fucking 12.
Yes, but you have to. Either way, that's. I feel like a lot of movies wouldn't have. They would show her getting smacked, but they wouldn't do like a fucking Zack Snyder like. Ooh.
And I like also that she had the actual.
The slow, and the slow down.
Why are you being so dismissive to my point?
Because it's. I mean, it's a movie like this. Why would that surprise you?
I don't think a lot of people would do a slow motion smack of a little.
The slow motion and the handprint on the face makes it more comedic. If you did it fast, it'd be like, oh my god.
I did notice
all the spit coming out too is a joke.
Even though there's
a lot of spit too.
I quickly checked the Rotten Tomatoes, and it had a positive critics, 79%, and a splat of audience at 46%.
Really?
I was gonna say, first of all, I would like to do an entire episode based on whether or not we can trust Rotten Tomatoes, but I won't get into that right now. But I do find it's interesting because of stuff like this, where it's like, I think I know why after seeing it, because I think folks that aren't little genre nerds like us would be like, oh my god, you hit a little girl, oh my god, you killed a dog, oh my god, you killed a cat.
I think that the vast majority of people say, oh, the doll is alive, and they don't tell you why. And usually there is this, which is, it's you, damn if you do, damn if you don't. There are some movies where they say, oh really, they have to tell us everything, and then sometimes they say, wait, why does this happen? Why then don't tell it? How can you, where is the flip side? And so this one, I enjoy it very much because of that, because it's just like, that's your doll, that's your story. I don't care what you think about it, I'm going with it.
We've got a few more questions to ask about the break-in, if you don't mind, sir.
Just let me change.
Did you guys think the horror comedy tone was integrated nicely? Because I feel like that's a big thing with horror comedies is a lot of times it'll sway to one or the other.
I think that it's
what?
Yeah.
I
Answering your question. I'm listening to you.
No, but you were looking like.
I was listening to your question.
I like it because you're introduced to it by degrees. It's something that, for instance, the bloodbath at the end of Parasite.
Yes!
Is almost as opposite as the whole tone of the movie till that point.
Mm-hmm.
It fits. It's great because there is this not declared slow burning throughout the movie, and then it erupts.
Oh, it feels earned.
Right. And that may, I think that may shock more people because they don't, clearly is not expected at the end of a movie like that. It's not, there is no suggestion in the poster. Here the poster is a teddy bear with a knife and...
well, there's anything called a bear, which I know they're using it like a generic term,
right,
but
yeah.
It's very much not. If anything, he's
it's
kind
a plush
of
toy.
It's
just
a
like
dog. He reminds me of Rolf from the Muppets.
But what do you call it?
Well,
stuffed animal.
It's perfect because by the fact that it's a generic creature, you can project whichever animal, toy, plush toy you had into that.
I'm thinking of the scene you said where he adorably gets scared by himself in the mirror, the gear up scene. And I'm like, oh, the guy mentioned in the beginning.
Here's the thing. I'm letting you go.
What?
I can't send my creative director to New York in a Goonies t-shirt.
I don't have a Goonies t-shirt. I have a Gremlins one.
I don't give a fuck about the Goonies.
Well, me neither. You keep going on about them.
Or Gremlins.
So clearly he's a fan. That's probably homage to Gizmo gearing up in 2 with the Rambo headband and the flaming thing.
His laugh is also very Gremlins.
It's the first Gremlins, not the 2. Well, he does
he does it in both.
In 2 he does Rambo. In the first one, oh no, in the first one he has the car.
No, 2's the gear up, isn't it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm getting old.
I know some things.
I know.
Try with Benny.
You had mentioned the audio being a little shrill.
That was before we started filming. It's taken out of context.
It didn't bother me much. We have more sublime examples, like in The Gun in Sick 2.
I was fascinated by the look of this movie because I would never say it looked bad. It was very clean, but there was almost something, and Matteo, you're the far more informed one here, there's almost something where, how do I express this? It didn't look bad, but it looked like not movie level, or like a different, there was something visually where I was like, do you know what I'm trying to express, or am I just pumping?
Not a clue.
Well, I think with the, I mean, they definitely had a budget.
They did have a budget.
Money into
clearly was shot on digital.
Because I think it was trying to, like even there were a lot of house scenes where it's like flooded with daylight, almost as if it's like a filter for certain scenes. And then even the scene of when they're driving in the car and they're using the brightness of the headlights to kind of blur out the bad
CG and there were green screen.
Yeah, and there were some scenes where it's all CG when Benny's flying through the window with the knife at the end. So I think it's trying to blend a lot of those different looks and shots and just try to get them try to match them as much as possible.
I really did like this, and yet the whole time I was thinking, I like this a lot, and yet there was something to me that kept it from doing the Spinal Tap amp of going up to 11, where I was just like, damn, And as I stumble through saying this to you guys, I don't know if I can articulate what it was. And I don't really want to get on it too long because I think there's so much awesomeness about it.
But I
But
think it just comes down to the not low budget, but just low budget quality look to it.
But it didn't bother me particularly.
There were a lot of interesting shots and interesting angles, but it didn't always seem to kind of match. And I mean, same thing like we said with Sharks, scenes outside versus scenes inside, like the office. You can kind of tell, okay, this looks more like a set than it would look like a real office. And same thing, even though they did a really good job and had enough room to play around with the boss's office, the workstations, the conference room, it still looks not up to that, okay, I'm going to forget this is a movie, I'm going to just dive into this world.
that's what I'm saying, is that so much kick-ass about it, and yet I think it's because it's such a, you can tell it's a vision, and this is written, directed, produced, acted. You said, I'm sorry, you said the
I think
the lead is the writer-director?
Lead is writer and director. Yes.
And also his first.
Yes, he did. He had 2 shorts prior to this.
Well, he should do his laundry. I would like to say, because we never, as people who have gone through this, we never want to talk too much shit. Like, first of all, for a first feature, that's friggin' incredible. Incredible for a first feature.
Maybe it looks like a little too much of a TV production rather than a movie.
Thank you. That's what it is. There was something about the look, and I think because I saw so much in it, there's like I'm thinking I'm going back to maybe, I don't know, Desperado Rodriguez is so lo-fi visually, but there's a stranglehold of like, this is someone who's like, I'm gonna do my first movie. And I think
Halloween, the
yes,
original.
So the idea is so gonzo and there's so much creative juices flowing that I just wanted a little bit more of tightening around the neck to really be like, holy shit. But again, as much as that feeling lingered, I don't want that to take away from how fucking kick-ass, especially for a first feature. It's just that I think the idea was so bonkers that I wanted, I don't know, do you know what I'm trying to say?
I mean,
Richard, have I ever told you how much I love you?
Oh, well, thanks, Jack.
It's almost, and this seems an insult, but and I completely understand because we did the same thing. They have the sitcom obligatory shot, the office, and then you cut inside the office, and then the house, and then you cut inside the house. But once again, to me, they were just like minor things because it kept on moving. Yes, they were inside, but there was always something going on around it. There were clever shots.
I think you might come close to what I'm saying.
I do feel bad talking about this so much, though.
No, yes, I should also say that we, not so much him because he's been around the block and he's already been destroyed by the industry and people talking shit, but me and Matthew, with Sharks is our first movie, I can tell you we had some bad days, especially him when bad reviews came in. So,
because we made a movie.
And now, I must go.
there were some bad days when it's like the first time you ever had a bad review and you've busted your ass on something, and it's some people just, you know, why would they? Because they don't know us and you're just reviewing a movie and like this fucking thing. So yes, I would like to stress that we try to be three-dimensional with this. One of the goals of this show was never just to hate or shit talk. So I'm getting into it just because I felt it, but the last thing I want to do is be like, yeah, this fucking thing this thing exists. It's a first-time director. It's his movie. It's amazing because of that.
Is that way above the average
way above.
First time.
But that's what it is. I feel like probably the same thing a lot of people that didn't like sharks who were like, wow, what a great idea. Why the hell didn't you go crazier with it and have the sharks act? Oh, man, bad CGI sharks and they're cute and cuddly, but they're killing people? You guys really dropped the ball. A bunch of reviews have said that. I think that might be what it is. Like, think of that boardroom massacre scene. It's pretty awesome. but had like, you know, the scene in Piranha, the Aha one. I always remember, even though it's been years, the remake by Alexandre Aja, who did Crawl. That's the massacre in the water.
I was trying to remember the.
It's going to be great down here. You've got your favourite comic. Promise to be quiet, okay?
Cuddly.
Say Okey-dokey.
Okey-dokey.
Good boy. In.
So I guess I was like, oh, what if that puppet office massacre was like that? And again, you're right. I hate saying this because I don't want to be, well, let me nitpick what you couldn't do. It hurts to hear that. But I think I love the idea so much that I was like, oh, you could have strangled it and I would have like bowed down on.
But I think that comes down to budget restrictions.
Yeah.
I think there is that. But at the same time, I would think also that had they gone all the way to 11, I think that it probably would have been way too much.
Would have detracted from what is a good story, you feel
probably
like.
Yes.
Because in the end, you do want to have the, like I said, you do want to have the demented take on the Toy Story, that it does come down to Benny and
it's
Jack.
But then again, it is a simple story.
It's a simple story, but it's also a balancing act because there is still part of you who needs to love Benny at the end.
On that, I would like to say, and I was thinking this when
I was with Benny the whole time.
Yes, like I said, the brief reviews I read said that, and I would like to say that if your movie is called Benny Loves You and is centers around a murderous doll that you need to love, knocked it out of the park. That is one thing that I think they absolutely just destroyed. A++. Benny is adorable. Like I said, I love that you highlighted the scene where he gears up and then like scared of himself. The scenes where he's cowering behind the pillow. You don't want to see him go. And like I said, 1,000 kudos to the writer-director for you made me cry. When he's about to stab his little friend, you made me cry. Not even like kind of like, no, tears were forming in my eyes. I'm a very weak, childish man.
Oh, you're telling me.
Actually, that leads me into...
Listen, I feel very uncomfortable with talking about the technical aspects of this movie. As it stood out to all of us for some... just as every low-budget movie does, you can't always have the perfect sheen.
We are brothers,
but
man.
I feel really disgusted that we're all talking about the technical aspects more than the actual story.
Well, it's tough. I thought the antifact was cool because when we first met our love interest, I was like, wait, does that somehow tie into her with the doll? But no, it was just literally the classic random kill scene, and then the bear comes back at the end.
Yes.
And what I thought was cool, being people who love stuffed animals too much, is the message was kind of like, hey, no matter what the stuffed animal is, and this ties into not explaining it, you might get fucked over if you turn your back on them.
Yes.
It's just like a general...
There's always the special one.
Any of you stuffed animals, you love them so much, you turn their back, they might come back and kill you.
Ta-da! Ow!
Now, getting into the love interest, I remember at first our movie paints our protagonist as such a loser that I was like,
So loner, not a loser.
That was a good joke. And our love interest is a nice, pretty blonde. And I was like, would she be going for this guy, especially when he's got the office rep? And I kind of pulled back at first, but then once I found out that she, and again, not that she knows this, but I'll ask your guys' opinions after. I was like, oh, she's had a similar sentient, murderous doll experience, so of course they'd be bonded. But I guess she doesn't find that out at first. So what did you guys think of the...
She didn't even know him when she first...
Right.
Yes.
Vouches
What did you
for
think
it.
of the love interest? Because at first I pulled back, and then it kind of won me over by their bond over that. But I was like,
I found it plausible for the story, rather than just like.
Like she just wanted to give the poor guy a break and maybe give him
Yes, as oftentimes it happens. I mean, after all, once again, I hate to go back there, but we are guilty of the same thing. In Bad CGI Sharks, Amy wants to help Matthew.
Oh, damn dope. I like this one.
Those are actually Matthew's drawings. I didn't want to say anything, but I've been using them for a cartoon I'm pitching.
Wait, what?
I wanted to surprise you, but these are the characters in my pitch, and they're based on your sketches. You got talent, man, and I want to help you do something with it than just kill time at work.
I think that in this case, since it's a dog-eat-dog word, she probably sees that he doesn't like Richard or whatever his name is.
Love that guy, by the way.
Yes. So I found it a plausible thing, and I also like the fact that yes, they are together, but they're not. It's not the love story with the obligatory love scene or anything like that. It's also very plausible throughout.
They almost get to the love scene, but Benny interrupts.
It's not what you think it was.
I don't want to talk about it.
I protected you.
From a pug.
I think it had rabies.
On Richard, I thought it was great how much of a douche Richard was written as.
I'm celebrating. Come on, let's bury the hatchet.
No one's going to get promoted by being wasted, Richard.
God, I hate people who pronounce it Richard.
You're not even French.
So? No one calls Ray Fiennes Ralph.
Because he's Welsh.
God, I'd hate to be Welsh.
Just go. I have to get this finished.
Lots of people are saying you're already finished.
Who's saying that?
People. Lots of them.
And yet, when he came back and was helping in the house battle at the end, I was happy to have him there. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was a endearing douche character, because I was like, oh, Richard is in on the fun here.
Plus, they humanize him enough too, and you get an awesome death scene where his guts are sucked
out
to the vacuum.
Thank you.
No more Mr. Nice Guy. I hate people who say Richard.
What other story aspects, Matthew, as you said, have we not gotten into? Because I feel like there was a lot.
I like the boss.
Young people today aren't playing Simon Says in fucking fingerless fucking gloves and shoulder pads. It's all smartphones and blue movie players.
Blu-Ray, sir. Look, my designs.
You haven't evolved.
I like the scene of him crawling around the office to avoid his boss telling him he didn't get the promotion. Because it's a classic trying to survive a killer, but you're just your boss coming to look for you.
This is British?
You didn't recognize the accent?
No, but I mean, I don't want to be one of those. And every person with that is British. Isn't there? Where am I?
No.
Is this all British?
Europe is just England.
Yes. My next question was, did you find the humor to be British? Because I know you've always talked about how British humor is very specific.
Yes, a lot of things are dry, just like of both delivery and the actual humor.
Because I'm also Canadian and not British.
Is this Canadian?
No, I'm saying, but I keep.
They don't have accents like that.
No. Just hope he's okay, that's all.
It didn't seem as much of a traditional British, or at least stereotypical
definitely
British
not.
humor.
I really enjoy it very much also because of that, because I think that it was sprinkled throughout very well. I mean, a movie that makes you laugh for the death of two parents. It's something that you say, okay, it is on a different plan of existence.
And then you get a nice enough little scene where I like the photo of all of them in the mom's room.
Yes.
I think you can see her dresses or something on the back of the door, and just kind of just very simple, and he just closes the door. So it does show that it still affects him, but you can still laugh at the death scene.
Yes.
As the way it's played out.
And you, after we saw Kick-Ass, you were turned off by the coldness with which the mom's sudden death was handled as a turning off point for you. So that makes your point even stronger to me, because I've seen in the past you being like, the mom dies and it's like he doesn't even react to it.
Well, I think her death is also a throwaway too. You don't get to know her, you don't get to see her.
Right. It's literally just that scene, right?
Until she dies, and like, okay, just be done with it.
But either way, I remember him saying that, so I'm giving it to more of the credit of this movie, that we're laughing at parents dying, we're laughing at pugs being smashed.
Also, because we see them in pretty much in 3 shots at the beginning, in those 3 shots, you get to know them. The fact that they're making him a surprise party every year, they're happy, they're giddy. And
I like that they play along, or not play along with, but they actually seem to be genuinely kind of in love with the fact of his personality at that age still.
Which in theory would make their death more of a, oh my God, what the hell happened? And instead, you're laughing for it.
Mum, can I have a... Mum? Dad? Mum? Mum, say something.
I thought, as a man-child myself, I thought it was hilarious when his date walks into his room and her horrified reaction.
The stunningly bland Tara.
Just you wait, babes.
That was very funny. And it's funny because I feel like that's one of those jokes where you're like, don't you think someone would have done that before? But I don't think I have seen it. I mean, people have played on the whole, oh my God, he's a man-child aspect, but the horror at the you haven't grown up in the room I thought was very funny.
Plus, like the fact that you do make him a man-child, definitely, and you have him maybe kind of a little stunted, and he still seems to love toys. He keeps his stuffed animals and kind of be into traditional kid stuff, but he's not even too weird or
He's a good everyman. I thought that.
Yeah.
As after all are all of us who have bizarre, childish, I don't know, fetishes.
Sexual tendencies. Whoa, no.
Yes.
That's a little strong word. Makes sense.
Yes. No,
child fetishes.
Well, we had.
I meant toys. I meant toys. No.
I have the power of editing. It stays in.
That's what.
What?
It stays in.
Oh my God. Whenever you say, "Oh, I like toys, I like comic books," and, "Oh, you're a nerd, you're stupid," no.
Well, yes, but
yes,
okay.
but no, not necessarily. I mean, you don't have automatically if you don't have written the name of your team on your chest or you're barbecuing outside of a stadium. All
Sports
of a sudden,
obsession is a lot more acceptable.
Yeah.
I guess that's because it's a real thing.
It's a real thing?
I mean, it's not fantasy.
Oh, I see. Well, there is fantasy football, though.
Well, are we headed towards our wrap-up? Is there anything we left out?
Sure.
Okay. You get annoyed, so I'm going to start. How about that?
All right.
I'm kind of torn here. I'm not quite sure what rating to give it. I think I'm gonna do.
You're not supposed to pick from that pile.
What am I supposed to pick from?
That pile.
Oh. All right, those are the ideas.
These are the ideas too.
I'm going to do 1, 2, and a half. And I want everyone to know I'm conflicted about this because I feel like maybe I should, again, we know this movie, you know, we know the dig into your bizarre idea and do it yourself. It's a very strong 2.5. I just feel like, I don't know, man.
No, I'm completely with you.
And again, it feels almost damn near disgusting to say when I feel like we're brothers in this, like, don't you know the struggle? But so much, you know what? I'm going to refer to a bad CGI Sharks review that resonated with me. There was a guy on the Letterboxd who literally said, I hate so much about this movie and hate so much of the characters, and yet that doesn't mean it doesn't stand out as something unique. Which I thought, damn, what an actual compliment, because to admit you hate it but still then give it a credit unique. So I'm not saying I hate it, but that's what I would like to say. This movie stands out as something unique and odd. An odd vision. I'm happy it exists.
You definitely don't hate it, though.
No, definitely no. But it just, I don't know. Maybe whether something didn't congeal or, like you said, the constraints of the low budget. A very strong 2.5 right in the middle. And I almost feel weird about it, but that's what I'm going with. It definitely stands out as something unique. And A+++ for Benny. Benny's a star. Knocked it out of the park with that one. So, either one of you go next.
I'll go and say exactly what you said. I mean, throw exactly what you said. I hate being alive. But
just end it there.
I really like this, but like you said, there was, for some reason, a little bit of being taken out of it.
Was that a half or?
That was a half, 2.5. But yeah, there was something that kind of, there was a slight
didn't fully
connect with maybe just the style and lulling you into the world. Aside from that, very funny. Benny was awesome. To be able to write, direct, star in, and do the other things, it's fucking amazing. A good mix of all different kinds of gore, special effects, CGI, and just a really fun movie. And I think I just hate being alive, which is why I gave it a less score, enjoyed it less.
How does that tie in?
I don't know. It seems to be affecting it.
It reminds you of what it would be.
I don't even know if they're connected, but it's just something I feel like I have to say because I feel like we talked more shit about this movie than I wanted to. Mm-hmm. Because it was really great, really creative, really fun, really cute.
I'm very interested to see what Mateo says because
let's keep discussing and expanding on our facts so we can.
No, but we're in sync, man. I feel you exact. It feels like I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done the 2.5, and yet it feels honest. I would like to say I do truly believe Benny could become an icon in this little underground world. So, again, kudos for Benny. We're gonna shut up. It's the Italian star.
It's about time.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
at least he talks a lot though.
It was his fault.
It's always my fault.
I know. Well, I'm fine with this. I enjoyed it. I love so much the fact that they stuck with the fact that they're not going to tell us why the toy is sentient. That to me, that was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful approach to this story.
Wait, are you throwing nothing?
No, I'm throwing nothing.
Wow.
And once again, it's one of those movies that it does exactly what I'm expecting. I'm entertained. I'm amused. I'm amazed, and
I didn't expect that.
I enjoyed it completely.
That's two good blinds back to back for you now with the promotion.
Yes, you may say that I'm generous and I'm a softie or something, but when I see a movie that actually genuinely enjoy me, that not for a second I say, oh, what time it is or how long it's gonna be or
no, I last week with Maximum Overdrive, I was surprised by how much praise I wanted
I was with it, and I still am, and I genuinely enjoy it. I think that the approach was perfect.
MaJaMa.
I love which I didn't think about until just now, the fact that you get the mist, smoke, cloud, fog, that's enough to be like, okay, there's a magical element here.
Yes.
It comes out of the box when Benny first comes alive. You see it drifting around the very last scene when they're warning you not to throw away your toy. And it's enough to say, hey, something sparked this magic to come through and bring him to life. I also like the fact that our protagonist, whose name...
You know what? I didn't want to move it because you positioned it so well. That's what she said. But the gentleman is Carl Holt. Carl Holt.
I don't know now.
What were you going to say?
I don't
Our
know.
protagonist.
Oh, he doesn't... I don't know. It's gone.
God damn it, Matthew.
You're the one who picked out his fucking name!
You asked what his name was!
I didn't ask what his name was. I said I didn't know his name.
What was your point?
Oh, there wasn't much to address or question about him coming to life. He kind of just accepted it pretty quickly.
Yes.
And didn't keep
well,
picking it apart or dissecting it or questioning it. Or...
I assume that if that is your favorite toy from your infancy...
You've always believed it was real.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's...
Well, you know what? We're going to end on this on a very genuine note. To Mr. Carl Holt. Fuck us and anything we said as unknown filmmakers as well. We genuinely salute you. And like I said, we just wanted to be honest about it, but a genuine thumbs up to getting your vision made. You have a movie that exists. We know how hard that is, and that is awesome. And if you're watching this, please check out Benny. Tell us if you like it.
Oh, if people are watching, not him, because I think that he saw it.
Carl, have you seen your own movie?
MaJaMa.
If we ever do my possible all-time favorite movie, Where the Wild Things Are, on the show, you guys are going to see, ooh, it is bad at the end of that. I will ugly, he'll be shocked. I will ugly sob.
We'll replace the paper with Kleenex.
It'll look like my high school room.
We didn't need
The sound effect was redundant. Comedically speaking, the sound effect was redundant and vulgar. I'm sorry I killed the
Now
joke.
here's a quandary. Should I keep it or should I edit it out?
Keep it.
Keep it to embarrass me, because I should be better than that comedically. Because it's not even about the vulgarity, it's about the fact that it was redundant comedically.
But cut the part where he's aware of it, so he seems like he's stupider and not really kind of...
Whatever makes me look like a dumb jackass. Now, I'm sorry.
A mirror.